Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hey bro, how are you?
Hey, bro, what's up, man? Doing good. It's almost the weekend again and more football and yeah, we're right in the swing of things, man. A lot of stuff happening. We just also had the Champions League draw happen today. So, yeah, a lot of things happening, man. The season's taking shape in terms of like who when we'll be playing and all this good stuff. So, yeah, man, it's getting more excited by the week, man.
Yeah, bro, let's start with that. The latest news, man. Champions League draw. When I saw the draw, I was very happy. I think we've had a really good result with that draw there. Seville, PSV, and Lens.
Hmm.
Three teams we should be beating. Seville are a decent team, but when you look at the teams that are in pot one, we could have got the likes of Bayern Munich, Barcelona, PSG. Getting Seville, I think, is a great result. Even pot three, you look at it, could have got someone like AC Milan. I know PSV are a decent team, but we should be dealing with them. And then pot four, get obviously you're gonna get a weaker team. We got Lens, who most of the teams are at a similar level in pot four. But yeah, happy about draw. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm happy as well. Sevilla always seems to just they always win the Europa League, right? But they always get there by dropping out of the group stage during Champions League. So, hopefully, we could chalk, chalk up two wins there. PSV, I think will probably be like the most difficult one. Even though as you say, yeah, like I think overall, if you took all the rankings, they're all like double digits, like in like down in the double digits, and we're like ranked fifth, I think, in these weird coefficient rankings or whatever. But PSV, this is like the fourth time we've had them in Europe. We had them last year. I think we split. We won one, and then we lost our only game to them. So I mean, they have also like three Americans on their team. So there's a lot of PSV fans here in America as far as that's concerned. And then that team from France, it's actually I checked it out. It's pronounced Lons or whatever. I don't know much about them, but I'm pretty sure we can handle them. Um, so yeah, I mean, early prediction would just be like I would say like we gotta be top two. I mean, we're in good shape to either get second or shit walking away with top of the group. So yeah, couldn't have asked for a better result. I was definitely praying against getting stuck with Bayern Munich, which United got stuck with them, or in the group of death, Newcastle got that one. And City, it's a shame, but they seem to have gotten an easy group as well. So we'll see what happens, man. Games happen in I think the first set of games happening September 19th and 20th. So Champions League, baby. Can't wait.
Yeah, bro, it's great to be back in that competition. Not long till the game started. You're saying, yeah, that group that Newcastle got, that's a
Group of death.
seriously hard group.
Yeah.
Great fun watching that group. All right, before we talk about our last game against Fulham, let's talk about some of the transfer news then. So, big news coming out that it's been officially confirmed. You mentioned in last week's show there was strong links that Balogun was going to go to Monaco. It's been confirmed. It's saying 50 millions of fee. That's a decent
Mm.
amount of money. Hopefully, we have put a buyback clause in there. I'm pretty sure we're going to put a sell-on clause, but hopefully, put a buyback clause as well. As we talked about last week already, it's a difficult one. He wants to play all the time. Not sure how much Arteta rates him. Not sure what he's been doing in training, but seems like Arteta wasn't that keen on him. Was happy to let him go, and it's been confirmed now that he's leaving.
Yeah, and I think both of them I think Balogun just never really I don't think I don't want to say that he wasn't given a chance. I think Arteta was very clear in saying like, "Hey man, you're going to get a chance." And I think he got hurt early on in preseason. I mean, he did get some time early in preseason, but I think there was an injury and I think overall the view is like, you have to earn your spot. If you don't earn it, it's not going to happen for you. So glad we were able to sell him and get some money off of that. And then I think with Kieran Tierney, I think the move. I think Kieran Tierney is a great player, classic right back. I just don't think he fits into into Arteta's plans, either starting today or like going into the future. So I think ultimately the whole goal of this um, transfer is going to be like, or not transfer, but loan is just to kind of showcase them off to other teams. He still has 3 years remaining on his deal, so I think we can get him back um, with a lot of time left, and then we can sell him for a good fee. So I think that's kind of like what we were kind of hoping to do with Nicolas Pepe, right? Except he got hurt. So hopefully, he has a good season over at Sociedad and La Liga, and then we can kind of, do something over there. So those, we still got like 24 hours left, I guess, or maybe less to go in the transfer window. So hopefully some cool stuff happens. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. But those two big ones, man. Tierney, I felt the most. Liked him as a player. I still like him as a player, and I'm probably gonna end up watching some games with him playing. So I'm not like I don't think it was like a negative split between them two. But he's always been good for the club. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, for sure. I loved Kieran Tierney. Wish him the best of luck. I loved his passion. A
Yeah.
real passionate player, and yeah, unfortunately, he's not going to get the game time he wants with us. So he's had to move on. Wish him the best of luck there. Balogun as well. As I was saying to you last week, I would like to see him give him a bit more time with us, but the decision's been made, and just wish him the best of luck there. And hopefully, like I said, if we've got that buyback clause, if he does go on and do really well, we can get him back. But who knows how well he's going to do? But do wish him the best of luck. Let's see how his future goes. All right, bro. So let's talk about potential coming ins. We're not hearing any strong rumors linking us with anyone really, but you never know. There is this last day to go. Looking at the defensive situation with Timber being out now, also Teeny's gone out. I remember you saying in last week's show that if Teeny goes out, you really think we do need to get someone in. So,
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on players coming in that position? Also, maybe the striker position now that Balogun's gone as well. That leaves us with just Eddie and Jesus as out and out strikers. I know Trossard can play there, Martinelli can play down there as well, and Havertz can play down there as well. But do you think we will get anyone in, whether it's a buy or a loan?
I think striker would be like a nice to have. I don't think it's going to be like I don't think it's like a need, so to speak. Like I think that's something that might be held off until January or even next summer. So I think right now we're going to go with what we have in terms of striker. Defending. I'm really really hoping that somebody, that they're eyeballing somebody, whether it's on loan or a buy. I don't even know, man. I've looked into it a few times and haven't really seen us link with anybody of note or anybody really. Um, but you would have to imagine, you would hope that, yeah, with Tierney on his way out, there was either a plan to sort of replace him and put somebody in there with some, you know, for depth purposes. But we'll see, right? Because I mean, the problem is like you want somebody with that's good enough to help us push for all these trophies. Uh, but then are they going to be happy being on the bench and potentially just being like second choice or whatever? Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I'm not going to say I'm not confident, but you never know. Like a lot of last minute deals happen and things like that. So I'll definitely be watching the deadline day ticker. Like they show us the Sky Sports all day stuff in the tomorrow, so I'll be able to watch it. So I'm gonna put it up there and just kind of have it up, and hopefully we see something. But I think we're done. I think we're also gonna see a couple more outgoings as well. Um, so we'll see, man. I'm really hopeful. I really don't even know who we bring, but hopefully it's somebody, man, because I do think we need at least one person in on the defensive end.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's always nice watching deadline day.
Yeah.
Some some business gets done late. Remember, we've had some. We used to leave it really late with our transfer
Mhm.
business. So some of the time, like we were like really just hoping and hoping. This time, we've done the main transfer business early, as we've done in the last couple of seasons. So we're not under that pressure. Like who are we going to get in? As you said, it'd be ideal if we could get someone in, but if we didn't, we have got a really strong squad. Just unfortunately, Timber got injured.
Yeah.
Otherwise, our squad is really strong, great depth all around. So yeah, as I said as well, maybe a striker. Another
Yeah.
striker would be ideal, but we've got options and we've got to work with what we've got. We're getting better and better, as we've been saying. Let's talk about
Yeah.
last weekend's game, though. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the win there. We're both saying hopefully a comfortable win against Fulham. Going into it, I think I went, what did I go for 4-0? I think you went
Yeah,
3
I think you said, I think
4-0.
3-0, and you went 4-0. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both expecting really comfortable games, but we know in the Premier League, no game is ever easy. All the teams are really good. We saw that like Man City playing Sheffield United, they gave them a real battle as well. We'll get into that one in a bit. But so our game, unfortunately, we gave that goal away early, really early. First minute, we've done that a couple of times last season as well, giving away that really early goal. That makes it really difficult. It gives the other team a lot of confidence and changes up all our plans. And like when we're really searching to get the goal instead of being patient, because you're 1-0 down, so you want to get right back into it as quick as you can. So that made it really difficult for us. But then we fought really well. We had so many chances as well in that first half. And so many times the ball was going across the box and we just didn't have anyone there to put it away. And we missed a couple of chances as well. But then, second half, got the penalty. Saka buried it. And Ketia got his goal. He came on at half time. 2-1 up, looking good. They've gone down to 10 men and thinking, all right, we're going to see this out now. But then unfortunately, we gave a corner away and they managed to score from it right towards the end of the game. We didn't have enough time to go get the third goal to win the game. So it finished 2-2. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought there was a lot of bad and a lot of good, and I guess I'll get all of the bad stuff out of the way first. But I mean, and this has gone like past, you go back to like last year and even years before, but you know, if you look at the difference between like teams like City and us, like this is the type of game that City would have put them away 3-0, 4-0, easy, right? Play like 65 minutes, hard, put the game away, sub it, make full five subs, and just take it easy, right? No emotional energy spent, just an easy day at the office, right? For us, we seem to just, especially with teams like this, like teams we're supposed to put away, we make it too hard on ourselves. And, you know, I- I'm pretty sure Arteta wants to put in players like Emil Smith Rowe and, other players off the bench to kind of get, or, maybe he wanted to bring in Eddie or Gabriel Jesus a little bit earlier, right? Or something, right? Like, but going behind 1-0 changes the game completely, right? And for a team like Fulham, who knows they're going to be overmatched, they get an easy goal like that. Um, they're already probably content to just be sitting in the back and hit us with the counter. Now they can just do it even more. And like, sure, we dominated possession, we dominated the shots. I think our XG was like 3, and theirs was less than half of a goal. So like, they got really lucky. I thought we played an outstanding game attack wise. I thought we looked really good. I thought our subs, I thought Fabio Vieira was absolutely outstanding, and I'm so happy for him. Eddie Nketiah finally scored a goal off the bench, and I felt like that's kind of what I was hoping from him for him, right? When he starts, he's money, right? You can almost bet money that he's going to score a goal. When he's off the bench, it's like, well, he's never like that game changer, but that he was that, this past game. I thouut Bukayo Saka turned it around. He made a really, really bad mistake. And I think part of it was also Thomas Partey messing up a little bit. But the mistake goes on Saka. He continues to play. He gets the chance to bury a penalty, scores his first goal, I believe, of the season or second, maybe. Um, but he continues, to show why he's one of the best players in the world. I thought Zinchenko came in and did pretty decent. Jorginho, we brought him in to hopefully, we started doing things like when Jorginho came in, we were trying to shut the game down, finish it off, and then we just couldn't do it. And if they scored that goal, I hate saying all these ifs, because it's so annoying because it's just like, okay, if something didn't happen or did happen, of course the scenario changes. But if we don't give up that goal in the first minute, I mean, we continue to dominate as we do, we might have gotten that 3-0, 4-0 score. But instead, we had to fight, claw back. Um, Almost, if we would have gotten the 3 points, you could have said, hey, we got lucky. I still think we got lucky to get a point. Fulham fully deserved that point. You could even argue they deserved their 3 points, right? So these things are going to happen. Teams are going to drop points, but I feel like I'd rather, turning this all into some kind of positive, because that's just the kind of fan I am. Like, I much rather would see us, I want to see us get the figure things out early in the season versus, failing, like seeing something like this happen at the end of the season when we're chasing, or when we're ahead and teams are chasing us, right? Like, I'd rather us kind of get this out of our system, if you will, and get everything sorted out so that as the season gets difficult, we get a little bit hot. I mean, 7 out of 9 points ultimately, so far so good, right? You can't really be disappointed. 100% disappointed, I should say. Obviously, we haven't been playing our best football, but I felt at some points we looked our best against Fulham. So I'm hoping we can brush off the negatives and really write off the positives that occurred during the game, because there was a lot to kind of be excited about. Namely, the one was Fabio Vieira, and I feel really bad that we wasted a really, really excellent performance for him off the bench. Giving away 2 silly goals, man. Because they were down to 10 men and we were dominating. And also another thing I wanted to kind of also bring up was Trossard didn't have his best game starting. So I think that kind of solidified. A lot of people were begging, like, what does Trossard got to do to start? Well, he got to start, and look what happened. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, he doesn't deserve a start moving forward, but I think he's better off the bench. And I think we got to put Eddie back up top. But it was also but again, good to see Jesus come in toward the end of the match. He did his best to kind of get us a win, but I'm excited. Again, I'm excited that we're starting to get players back. Zinchenko got subbed in earlier than he did the previous match, so he's probably we're going to probably see him start a game soon, which means we might see Gabriel come back onto the pitch, into the starting 11. So it's just a lot of moving parts, man, and that's what this team is so far. And I think yeah, man, a lot happened in that match, and I think we're gonna learn the right lessons.
Yeah, bro. As you said, we've got to learn from these experiences. We want to get better and better, and we're trying to adapt tactics. We've seen that Arteta said he wants us to be unpredictable. So he's been changing things about. We've seen Thomas Partey playing right back. We saw Trossard in this game play as a centre forward. Again, just trying to be unpredictable. I think with Arteta just trying different tactics, experimenting. I was speaking to some people, they feel that he's trying to experiment, get different plays going, different combinations, get that done early in the season so we're better prepared for the end of the season. So that's what a lot of people have been saying. And Arteta himself did say he wants us to be unpredictable. So I think that's why we've seen some of these selections. I think Trossard didn't have the best of games, but I don't think he's suited to that role down the middle. He's not in the box enough. We saw in the first half and many times we were getting the ball into the box. There was no one in there. And then that all changed second half when Eddie came on. So, yeah, I don't think that's the best of roles for Trossard. I think he's much better suited down on the wing. But yeah, this is what Arteta wants to do. We saw Man City doing it. I was speaking to someone who was saying this is what Pep was doing last season with Man City. At the start of the season, he was experimenting a lot. He was rotating a lot. And then it benefited them towards the end of the season. So hopefully it'll be the same for us. And we learn from these experiences where in that situation, we should have closed the game out. It's 2-1 up. 10 men, the other team have. We should be closing the game out. But these things happen. It is 2 points dropped, but we've got to bounce back and just click into gear against Man United. We need that full all-round performance. We've seen bits and pieces in the first 3 games, but we've not seen a full 90 minutes of our best football. And hopefully we're going to get that on Sunday against Man United. But before I get into more detail about that game and we preview that, let's talk about just the overall action from last weekend. So I mentioned earlier, Man City were involved in a really tough game. They were held to 0-0 until right late into the second half. I think it was like 75 minutes until Haaland scored. They got that goal. Then out of nowhere, Sheffield United managed to get a goal right towards the end. You're thinking, wow, Man City might have dropped some points here, but then Rodri scored in the 89th minute to get them the 2-1 win in the end.
That's sort of how it is with Man City, right? Like it's inevitable that they're going to score, and credit to Sheffield United for fighting back and drawing it even. And then, of course, again, inevitable. Like that's how I sort of envisioned us trying to play against a team like Fulham. Like, right, it might have been tough. Maybe let's say we don't give up that goal and it's 0-0 going all the way to the 70th minute, and then boom, within this, within 5 minutes we scored two goals. We're up 2-0, and then we put that game away. Right? Maybe they get a goal and it's 2-1. But that's what a champion does, right? They put teams away. They just kind of squeeze the life out of you, and that's. I watched a little bit of the highlights, and that seems what it was, right? Sheffield United did their damnedest to try and win that game, but then overall, just ultimately, City is just too good, and that's what happened in that match.
Yeah, they are very good at getting them wins, but that's something we're getting better at. Even when we're not playing at our
Right.
best, we are able to get results. We saw that a lot last season. Even when we were at our best, we all managed to get results. We managed to grind out wins. I remember that Leeds one last season.
Leeds. I mean, Palace 2 weeks ago already.
Yeah, so we're getting better at that. You got to remember, Man City have got a lot of experience in that team. I was
Mhm.
speaking to one of my friends, and he was saying that when you've as a player, when you've done something 200-300 times, you've been in them situations, it makes a big difference. We sometimes underestimate how important experience is. Uh,
Yeah.
for our team, very young, last season was the first time we've been in these situations of a
Yeah.
title. So we're going to learn and get better. Another match that was an interesting one because it was going on the same time as us. Our match was, and when I saw the score, it was like 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. I was like, what's going on here? I think it was in the first 10 minutes they were 2-0 up, but Man United did manage to come back and get the win in that one, finish 3-2.
Yeah, credit to them, I guess. But again, that just shows me like kind of what I was saying earlier about us. Like, they should be as much as Manchester United gets all this hype, right, as one of these teams on the rise, and they got Eric Ten Hag. Like, you can't fall behind 2-0 against Nottingham Forest. All credit to them. They ended up with the win. Good job, right? But they got to do better than that if they want to be considered like back, if you will, or top four contenders or title contenders. So um, that one's another one. Yeah, because it was going on during their game. Like I didn't get to watch, but yeah, I guess they fought back and they came back. So, but it looks like Ralph Rafael Varane is out for that game. So we might see Harry Maguire come on in, or I don't know if is he still with them. I haven't even followed with them, but oh
Still
yeah,
with
he is with them. Yeah, he's with them.
Luke Shaw.
We might see him.
Luke Shaw's injured for them as well.
Yeah, Luke Shaw's injured. We're there, so it's gonna be tough. But you know what? Ultimately, like, well, I mean, we'll get into it when we talk about the preview. But you know, um, you can kind of put form out the window with these kind of games. So, but yeah, I mean, it does. I'm sure we would have been just as happy, right, if we ended up winning 3-2 or something like 2-1 was what that final score should have been with us. But yeah, it was kind of similar trajectory with those games, like giving up stupid goals early on and then fighting back to win. That's what we want to see with us. United, credit to them. So whatever. I hate saying that, but yeah, they were good.
Yeah, we got the win in the end, which is obviously
Yeah,
the thing, but they do look shaky defensively, even more
yeah,
so now with two of their better defenders missing. So that gives us a lot of confidence. As we say, we're getting to a preview shortly. Another big game on the weekend. It was a really good game. I don't know how Liverpool managed to get the win, being down to 10 men so early in the game. 1-0 down to 10 men. They managed to win it 2-1 in the end.
yeah. Look, I mean, yeah, that game I turned on in the second half, and I was like, oh shit, like Newcastle's up 1-0. And then they're one of those teams, right? They're a really good defensive team. So, they locked everything down, man. And nearly pulled it off. Uh, Virgil van Dijk got the red card in the first match. A little bit harsh, but I think by the letter of the law, that is what it is. And I think that was more to do with like how Isak, the way he cut and just how good he is of a striker. Like he drew that. It's kind of like similar to like a really good shooter in basketball drawing a foul, and you're almost like, oh come on, like that's like when James Harden at his best was able to just kind of draw the silliest contact, but that's the rules, right? And so I think that the really good strikers are able to draw contact in the proper way to get the foul, and it worked. Got the red card. I thought it was again. I thought it was a little harsh, but you know, it is what it is. And Darwin Nunez, I think with what they were able to do, I think Darwin Nunez was just that little bit of individual brilliance that brought him back. So like I thought he was good, and I think he's going to be dangerous. And you know, Liverpool is going to struggle. They still haven't gotten that, or while it, as long as it takes for them to get that midfield sorted out, their defense is also very shaky. But I think someone like Darwin Nunez is going to definitely save them a lot in a lot of matches this season. So yeah, that was a really, really. I would have been tough to watch Liverpool as a Liverpool fan. You know, I would have hated to see that game, even though we won. Like just the stress, and then Newcastle, just the way they lost it, was certainly heartbreaking. So as a neutral, I was watching it. I was like, yeah, this is great, right? Like, you know, Newcastle are now our top four rivals, so I was happy to see them drop points. But it sucks those to a team like Liverpool because that's just going to give them confidence. So yeah, it was still a great game to watch, man.
Yeah, really exciting. Great finish to that game, especially for the Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get into our game against Man United. Massive game, always is when we play them. Major rivals of ours. We got home advantage. We've had a great record of them over them at recent times here. Hoping for more of the same. Let's first talk about the lineup now. So we're talking about Arteta experimenting these opening three games of the season. We've been playing teams that we're expected to beat. We are expected to beat Man United as well, but you know, when you look at it on paper, it is a more difficult game, not the sort of game you'd want to really experiment with. All right. When I say experiment, trying to be unpredictable as well. At the same time, it is experimenting. What would you do with the lineup? Would you want to keep it as it has been with Thomas Partey at right back, or would you look to get Gabriel back in? Would you look to keep Havertz in? Havertz has had a lot of criticism. I think it's a bit unfair on him. Some of the things he needs time. He's new to the team. He's adapting. He's used to that Chelsea slow style of play as well. So that's why I think he does sometimes slow our play down, not on purpose, just because he's used to that. He needs to get more used to our faster pace and the players he has around him. We have a lot of pace in our team with Martinelli and Saka, but there are
Mm-hmm.
a lot of calls that he should maybe put on the bench. He needs to work his way into the team. We got Jesus back now as well from injury. Hopefully he's fully fit. Zinchenko's back. There's a lot of questions there with the lineup. What would you do?
Yeah, so it's a question of sticking with what you've been doing, and you know, it seems like again, like I said, the game against Fulham, I thought the goals we gave up were very, very stupid goals. And I think the first goal had to be Thomas Partey. You know, Osaka was expecting him to be back there because whatever that setup was, he's supposed to be back there as his right back. But Thomas Partey is, you know, instinctively a defensive midfielder, so he ran up there to where he felt he needed to be. So you can probably attribute that to like them learning this new formation. The second goal, that was just bad overall individual defense, I think. Um, but I mean, 7 out of 9 points with this formation. And I think also at the same time, we've dominated possession in all three games. It's not like we can't score goals. We've been getting goals. You know, we got 5 goals in 3 matches. So I would personally, with all that being said, I want to just see us go to that back four. I want to see Gabriel out there. I think I feel much better with him and Zinchenko and Ben White at right back and Saliba in the middle. And then I want to see this Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, and Odegaard, you know, in a true midfield. You know what I mean? And then up top, you know, I kind of want to see Eddie Nketiah get another start. I don't think we can put Jesus in there right away expect him to play 90 minutes. So some kind of, you know, switch off. And then the one person I would maybe take out to have a rest who I think has struggled a little bit, is Martinelli. I think he struggled a lot against Fulham, so would like to maybe see Trossard get another chance to start, and then bring in Martinelli off the bench. I mean, geez, that's an incredible luxury to have, right? So that's what I would like to go with our. If I was the coach, that's the lineup I would go with.
Okay, cool. I mean, what do you think in terms of looking at Man United? We spoke about them when we were talking about their game against Nottingham Forest, but looking at them, their team, how they've got on so far this season, what do you think the dangers they possess and what we need to look out for with them?
I mean, they've still got Marcus Rashford, who's he's kind of peaking at the right time, right? Anthony, I'm not necessarily worried about, but he's just one of those players. I think he's poor, but like he's just one of those players that he's gonna do well against us, right? I think he scored a goal with us last year at Old Trafford. Um, Garnacho, I think he's dangerous, but he's also not very. He's not a very smart player right now. He's very young, but he could pose some problems for. I think their attack, especially if they get on a counter attack with us, I think they'd be dangerous, and I'm worried about them as far as that's concerned. But I think Christian Eriksen is a player that with his experience, I think we might see him start to kind of settle the team down a little bit. But they are vulnerable, man, and so I just think we need to jump on them fast. They're going to be vulnerable on the defensive end. Luke Shaw's out, Varane's out. So that we might see Lissandro Martinez. I hope he gets 2 yellows against us or a straight red, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. But I hope he gets some kind of caution early on and doesn't play, because I think he's best. He's a wild card man and he's scary. So yeah, I mean they're definitely a scary team, but I think yeah, it's just one of those games, man, where it could be a I feel like we could win 3-1, but it could still also be a very close match. And that's also a game we could be, if we're not careful, we could easily lose, man. So it's going to be a scary game for sure. I'm very nervous, and I hate that we're playing on Sunday because I kind of wanted to like play on Saturday and just get it out of the way. Or hell, even if it was a Friday game, like I'd be happy with that. But I hate having to wait. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so you're going 3-1.
I'm gonna say 3-1. I think we finally put it together, regardless of what lineup we put out. I think I think 3-1, but it's gonna be a closer match than we think, right? I think it's gonna be one of those 1-1 toward late. And I mean, we're this team that will continue to be relentless. So we're gonna be able to put 1-2 goals together in the span of like 5 minutes and just really crush teams. Uh, but yeah, I think it's going to be a 3-1. Going to be closer than what it seems, but yeah, 3-1 is what I'd pick.
Okay, I'm going for
Mm.
the same. I was just speaking to one of my friends who's a Man United fan as I was leaving work, and I say to yeah, we're gonna be comfortably. I'm going for a comfortable 3-1. I reckon they might get a late goal as a consolation, but I think we're gonna be quite comfortable. We're gonna get out into the lead, really turn on a great performance. As I said, so far this season we've not played well for a full 90 minutes. We're due to do that. We're gonna be obviously really up for it. We know Man United is one of our main direct rivals. Be a great atmosphere, and I think
Yeah,
that disappointment with a Fulham game, dropping them 2 points, we're really going to come out all guns blazing,
I
and
agree with that. Yeah,
yeah, we're going to race into a lead 2-3, and they might get a late goal. So I'll go 3-1. Okay, bro. And to finish with, as usual, predictions for some of our other key games from the next round of Premier League fixtures. Let's start with Man City versus Fulham.
oh, I mean, Fulham went all out to get a draw against us. Um, they've got Calvin Bassey from Fulham is suspended with that red card that he got. Willian is out with an injury, and I think the guy who scored for them against us is gonna end up leaving them. I'm not quite sure. Like, so we'll see what happens with the end of the transfer window. But um, it's Man City at home. It's not gonna be that close. I think Man City pull off the win, like 2-0. Fulham do play difficult, man. They beat Tottenham in the Carabao Cup this week. So yeah, I mean they're, every game's tough, and I think this is going to be no exception. So, but Man City, Fulham are not a very good defensive team, so I think Manchester City wins comfortably too now.
Okay, I think I'm not sure if Fulham get a goal. I'll go 3-0 City for that one.
Okay.
All right, and next Chelsea, Nottingham Forest.
Oh, Chelsea at home. I mean, they finally got a win at home, which had been a long time, right? Nottingham Forest have been playing, playing teams very, very difficult this start. What was it? See, they lost 2-1 to us, won 2-1 against Sheffield United, lost 3-2 to United, and then 1-0 in some Carabao Cup action. I think I'm gonna pick. Uh, I don't think Chelsea will be able to put 2 wins in a row at home. I'm gonna pick Nottingham Forest with the upset 2-1.
Okay, I think I went last week for Nottingham Forest upset against Man United. You remember? It was
Nearly,
looking good
nearly
at
there.
2-0. It was looking good at 2-0, but then Man United managed to come back. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. I think this time
Yeah,
Forest will get something from the game. I think Chelsea still there, still getting used to all the new players they got there and the new manager and stuff. So it's gonna take them time.
and they got so many injuries. I just looked at their list, and they've nearly got a full squad worth of injuries. 6, 7, 8 injured, 9 injuries, 9 players out with injuries.
Wow.
It's yeah,
We got a lot of players. They keep buying players. I'm hearing they
yeah,
with so many players still, So yeah,
yeah.
they got a massive squad there. So okay, next Burnley versus Tottenham.
Um, let me think about this for a quick second. Um, who's at home?
Burnley.
Burnley's at home. Ooh, I'm gonna pick Burnley with the upset, 1-0. Like I said, I think Tottenham's been getting lucky. I watched some of that game against Bournemouth, Tottenham and Bournemouth, and there was a long stretch. I mean, I think what's gonna do Tottenham in, man. I mean, they play a little bit more of like an exciting type of game, right? Like they a little bit more attacking than they were in the past. But their defense, man, they just give up a ton of shots. And so if a team like Burnley, who does want to play that way, a little bit more front foot and attacking, that could play right into their game plan, man. They could go up big. Um, so yeah, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a win. But I think they pull off the 1-0 upset of Tottenham just because, yeah, their defense is not very good.
Okay. I think both teams like to be on the front foot. It's just the attacking game. Both defensively vulnerable, you'd say as well. I'll go 2-2 for that one.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be fun too, man. I'll take that.
All right, and then this next game should be really interesting because Brighton again, they've started well. I know they did lose their last game, but they've looked good. Like they've had some good results. Even though they keep losing players, they managed to do well in the transfer market and find some good replacements. And again, they're looking like a good team. Newcastle, we know they're a very good team. They didn't beat Liverpool, which was surprising, going 1-0 up and Liverpool had 10 men, but they are a good team. And I think it'll be a tight game between them two. What's your thoughts?
Um, that one I'm gonna go draw. I think 2-2. Um, yeah, as you say, man, Brighton are flying right now. They're looking really good. Um, and I think Newcastle again, they're looking a little shaky to start. So it's gonna be a draw, 2-2. I'm gonna say.
Okay, I think Newcastle will edge it. I'm going to go 2-1 to
Okay.
Newcastle. I know Brighton started well, but they did just lose 3-1 to West Ham.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
Premier
true.
League so unpredictable. There's so many teams that are a very good level. So yeah, it could go either way that one, but I'll go 2-1 for Newcastle. All right, I'm mean, to finish with Liverpool versus Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah, and Villa are an exciting team to watch as well, man. Um, that's gonna be a good one to watch, man, right before our game. Um, geez. Virgil van Dijk's out suspended, so and their defense is already shaky. Jesus, man. But man, and then you look at Aston Villa's injury sheet is long as hell as well. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one, man. Kind of exciting. They are on a good run of form. They're playing Europa Conference League qualifiers and they just won 3-0 today. So they're on a run of four straight wins since they got beaten 5-1 against Newcastle at the beginning of the season. Um, geez. I think they're gonna I think they're gonna I don't know. I'm gonna say 3-2 Villa. It's gonna be a week of upsets, except for us.
Okay.
It's crazy.
That'll be a great game if it finishes 3-2. I'll go 2-1 Liverpool. I think we'll edge it. Being at home, I think we'll just edge that. All right, bro. Again,
Sure.
gonna be another great weekend of action. Look forward to catching up with you next week to discuss it all. Let's hope our boys get a really important win. We don't want to be dropping more points at home this early in the season. I'm really expecting us to come out flying, as I say, and get a really dominant home win against Man United. Thanks for your time today, bro.
My pleasure, man. Yeah, this is gonna be a massive game, big rivalry. Manchester United, they're one of the hated teams historically. So yeah, man, we need to put a full game together, and I'm hoping this is where we start getting hot a little bit. We've got the players, we got the talent. We just need to put it all together. So come on, you Gunners. Let's get the win, and I'll talk to you soon, bro.
Yeah, come on, Arsenal.
Let's go.
Do this. All right, that's all from us, man. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.